Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be looking at the most underrated brawlers in the meta. So as you guys know, the meta has switched up within the last few weeks, and already the meta is materializing. We've been playing the same maps over the rotation, and we can kind of see what's good in meta, what's not so good, and also the underrated brawlers that can be good against the meta brawlers. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I think is really underrated in the meta. We're going to be playing with Cursed and D2. I'll put both of their links in the description below. And also let me know down in the comment section below whether you like my new overlay. I really like it. It's nice and simple. I didn't really like my last overlay. It's a bit too cluttered, but this one's nice and simple, as I said. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, jumping into the 6th most underrated brawler in the meta. Currently it's going to be Jackie. So a lot of people do rate Jackie, but at the same time, people don't realize how actually good she is across so many different modes. Now in terms of Siege, she's probably one of the #1 picks inside of it, just to get that first bolt and just to win a lot of engagements, including the Edgar one. That's going to be one of the most important ones for sure, because of how good Jackie is against Edgar. Edgar is really good in the meta, not really as dominant as people think, but Jackie just basically makes it so Edgar's near enough irrelevant in the game. As long as Jackie can stick on the Edgar, it's really good. Jackie's got really good HP, can free shot a lot of different brawlers now. For example, Shelly, Cole, some good brawlers that used to be really good against her. She now free shots with the additional damage. And thanks to Curse for throwing that game, even though we're at 1.2k, we're not going to be ending the game straight away, but there's just no way that they're going to be able to save this. So this is going to be the 6th most underrated brawler in my opinion. Some people may think it's really good, but a lot of people don't really seem to see the value in Jackie. But Jackie's so good, especially on all the Brawl maps that are really close together. Jackie is just so dominant in this meta. Let's hop into number 5. Alright guys, jumping into the 5th most underrated brawler in the meta right now, I would say Brock. So Brock went from being probably one of the best brawlers in the meta just mainly due to his gadget, and now after a lot of nerfs, people just seem to think that he's trash, but a lot of times, a lot of different maps, he can be really viable, especially on Brawl. Heist is going to be the main way you're going to be pushing Brock at the moment. There's also a lot of different, this is well, I really like the nerf now. To be fair, at first I thought the nerf was a bit of an overkill, but now I do actually like it because you can get some good value on the gadget. You can break up some walls, which how this gadget should be used. It shouldn't really be used just to completely just go through enemies without any trouble at all, but now you have to use it tactically to break up a lot of terrain, to get some good moments. And now it's not just used to get a free kill, as I just said. And I'm really enjoying Brock in this meta. It does take a lot more skill than before. Before you just press the green button and get a kill, but now you have to, as I said, use a little bit of strategy. Nita's going to use her gadget there, not able to get me. D2's probably going to go down here. We're not against the best comp because Sandy does pretty much hard counter me, but I do get a good super there. Especially with his OG Brock skin, I just like him even more. So people are probably, as I said, wondering, how has he gone from one of the best brawlers to one of the most underrated? And it's just literally what From said. He's got the same HP as Spike, so people are just kind of off-putted by how low HP he has. But you just got to play him a lot different, be a lot more passive with him, and he's going to be a really decent brawler. So he's going to be the 5th most underrated in my opinion. Let's hop into number 4. Alright guys, so hopping into the 4th most underrated brawler in the meta. Currently, it's going to be Penny. So Penny is actually really good in the meta, I think. She's a really good gem carrier. Not too good as a lane on Brawl, but I'm having to play her here just because she's at 1.2k. But there's a lot of new maps that came back that Penny's really dominant in as a mid. As I said, like Death Cap Trap's really good, Chill Space, Deep, I think it's Deep Diner. It's also a really good map for Penny. A lot of good Penny maps have came back. Also, the meta just really favors Penny because of the turret meta. She's really good against 8-bit, she's really good against Pam, she's good against Mr. P. She's actually decent against B as well because you can get free taps on the B. So let's go gold down here. Don't want to throw it too badly, but yeah, as I said, mostly because of how good she is on the maps that have returned. We need to actually defend this one. Okay, it shouldn't be too bad. Curse getting clapped in the mid. Hopefully we can get rid of his B gadgets and then dominate. We're only one shot away from turret, but as I was saying, a lot of maps have returned. That makes Penny really decent. Especially in comp, she's starting to be used a little bit more in competitive, which is a bit surprising. But I said, once there's a few bans, 8-bit and Pam become really good in the meta. And that's where Penny strives the most at. Good job, Penny. Jackie didn't actually run through there. She could have easily scored. But always, Penny's always been one of them brawlers where she's never really been strong, never really been like really weak. But Never ever been OP for such a long time in the meta. So we've got a double kill here. Let's try and push up and win this. As I said, my Penny's at 1.2k, which is decent for Penny, because Penny isn't one of those brawlers where it's just literally like you go Penny and it's a free win. It's one of them brawlers that you have to go on a specific map. She's a really map dependent brawler. She's really comp dependent as well. Should be able to get a B down there. It's Jackie as well. Didn't get the right clearance. Should be able to just pass it through her. And thank God we're able to score that one right there. As I said, I should never be playing Penny lane, especially at these high trophy levels. But we're kind of getting lucky against the Surge, just because Surge really slow. We can get some easy shots on him. We're just going to preserve our ammo though. Curse going really aggro. At least we've got our turret here. Jackie down as well. Surge, that's the first time he's got his level up the whole game. So that is pretty epic. We should be able to score over here with the B tanking it. So that's going to be Penny, the 4th most underrated in the game right now. Let's hop into number 3. Alright guys, moving into the 3rd most underrated brawler in the meta. So far, it's going to be Max. So Max is really good, but at the same time, really underrated. Just because, well, I don't really see Max too much on the meta, on ladder at the moment. Maybe that's because people have already got Max to a really high level, but at the same time, I don't really see it as well. Probably because of the Gene combo. Gene Max combo is just so broken. One of the main reasons. But Max is a good standalone brawler in her own right as well. There's no way she only relies off the Gene combo. She's just good all around. She's really good in heist. Just good on every single map and mode. To be honest, well, not every single map, but a load of variety that you can use Max on. And as I said, just don't really see her as much as I used to. Literally all the time on ladder, I would see that combination. I'll see Max just ran with everyone. But since the Gene nerf, not really seen her too much, hence why I think she's underrated. People might still say, oh, she's really strong. I still really rate her. But in terms of just ladder, just playing the game on ladder, I just overall don't really see people rate her too highly. So in my opinion, 3rd most underrated for sure. She's still super strong. She hasn't received really any nerfs recently at all. She got a really, well, one really strong gadget. Don't really like the other one. And for sure, just really good overall. We need to be careful of this ball. Missing a lot of shots. Let's use the speed. Okay, this is going to be tricky to get by. Let's just dash in on the Colt. Spam the hell out of auto aim. That should be a goal maybe. Let's see if Curse is able to get that in. No, I think he's just buying it a little bit of time. I'm close to speed though. So this might be okay. Let's try and feed it off this ball. Also Max as well. When there's Colt in the meta, last time when Colt was even a little bit relevant in the meta, especially in heist, Max became prevalent. Max is a really good counter to Colt, just because in the 1v1 engagements, Max can do really well with the increased reload speed. You've got the versatile gadget as well. Curse is wasting time. He should just score it instead of wasting time. He's going to go for the trick shot and score. I don't even know what these guys are really doing here, but that's going to be the 3rd most underrated brawler in the meta. Let's hop into number 2. Alright guys, going into the 2nd most underrated brawler in the meta for me, and I'll keep saying it. I've said it probably like 3 in the past 3 metas. It's going to be Surge. Surge are really good in terms of this meta, and he's really underrated. The main reason why is because how he counters Edgar so strong. They're probably going to go score here, or D2 maybe clutching up. No, they're probably going to score because I'm against a Frank lane. But yeah, Surge really underrated. Still not rated in terms of play rate on ladder. Don't really see him being played too often. But he's definitely underrated in that fact. He counters a lot of different brawlers in the meta, just like B, who's really strong. Colt, he can free tap. A lot of brawlers he can free tap. He's just so easy to counter these type of brawlers, and he'll always be strong in the meta for this reason. And even though, as I said, I never really see him too often being played, he's not one of these brawlers that are always in every single comp I face against it. It's always, like, I'll say he's got a really low pick rate, if anything, at the moment. Probably going to go down because of the B slow. But yeah, as I said, I think he's got a really bad pick rate. And to be honest, he's really flexible. You can play him on a lot of different maps, a lot of different modes. You can play him on Siege, you can play him on Brawl. You can play him on some heist maps. You can play him in a lot of different places, as I said. Good counter to Rico as well, because you can free tap him. He's really underrated, and I feel like he's one of his brawlers, just like Gene was, where he'll always be in a meta when there's brawlers that are available to free tap with his TP, with his gadget. He's really underrated. I still feel like no one really values him that high, but that's going to be the 2nd most underrated brawler in the game right now. Let's hop into number 1. Alright guys, so going into the most underrated brawler in the game, in my opinion, it's going to be Lou. I still feel like Lou's really underrated. Again, another brawler's not really picked a lot. He's only really picked inside of Siege at the moment, but I still think he's a really underrated brawler, especially in gamers like Gem Grab, Hot Zone. Siege, as I said, is so dominant. It's near enough if you've got Lou inside of your comp in Siege, you're going to be winning like every single game. He's also a really good counter to tanks, and especially with Jackie being so good in the meta, he's a really good counter to Jackie. He's also a really good counter to Edgar because you've got the freeze effect, just freezing Edgar. You've also got the gadget as well. So when Edgar jumps on top of you, you can freeze yourself for a whole second and be invulnerable to any damage. And it's a really good counter to Edgar. You've got 3 usages of it. You're basically countering Edgar for the 3 gadgets that Edgar actually has. But that's going to be the most underrated brawler in the meta. I'm not going to play again because it takes so long to get into matchmaking. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Not too much Lou gameplay, but as I said, the best game modes to play Lou on is Siege and the Hot Zone. You can just completely freeze out zones, especially with the super. You can fully defend a Siege bot, and then you've got Hot Zone as well. You can fully cover a zone with his super. His super is so insane, lasts for 10 seconds, and people don't really talk about how strong he is in the meta at all. But I feel like Lou's really underrated and pretty broken. That little message popping up there. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.